For those that don't know the Freshly Grounded story, I'm going to give a really quick recap. A brand new podcast called Freshly Grounded. I'm going to... In 2016, a man named Samuel Palmer and completely separately, a man named Faisal Chowdhury, me, both volunteered to go to Gambia to support a project where an orphanage was being built. At the time, we didn't know each other, but when we met in the project and spent loads of time together, we built a rapport and hit it off. And so when we came back, I put the idea to Sam to start a podcast with me. At the time, I was running a podcast, but I realized I needed a co-host. And with some convincing, Sam accepted. As Spot, the charity in Gambia that Sam and I volunteered at in 2016, was the place where we had met and the place where the idea of Freshly Grounded essentially was born from, we decided every Ramadan from that point onwards to raise money for Spot to help the project. Over the years, you guys have helped us raise tens of thousands of pounds for Spot to be able to build new schools, to provide facilities for the existing schools, to sponsor orphans, and so much more. The amazing thing is now, 6 years later, as time has gone on, the Spot project has become an integral part of all of the members of Freshly Grounded in some capacity. We've had people like Zach and Nadir go there themselves. We've had some of the guests of Freshly Grounded go to the Spot project. It's really become a central part of Freshly Grounded. And we want to honor that by, again, raising money for Spot this Ramadan. This Ramadan, however, is slightly different. Every year, we tend to pick a specific project in Spot, whether it's for water, whether it's to build a specific orphanage. But this year, for Spot, we want to raise money across the board, generally, for the entire charity. I know Spot also has a really big connection with the listeners of Freshly Grounded because many Freshly Grounded listeners have actually gone to visit the project themselves. So I know it means a lot to you guys. So as always, I'm really looking forward to this Ramadan. Every Ramadan, I think when we first ever started, we raised around, I'm doing this sort of guesswork and memory now, so I could be wrong. But I believe in like the first year we raised just over £2,000. And then the second year, I believe it was like over £8,000. And then I believe eventually got to the point when we raised over £20,000 in Ramadan for Spot. This year, I want to break that record. I'm going to set a challenge for us to hit the £30,000 mark. That's £1,000 a day on average. And I really believe we can do it together. So you can support our campaign by going to freshlygrounded.com/spot. That link will be active throughout the whole of Ramadan starting now. And if you want to learn more about Spot and the amazing things that they do, you can either check some of the links in the bio, in the description, or you can watch the vlogs that I shot on the 2 times that I went to the Spot project, both with Sam. But I'm going to give you a nutshell roundup right now. SPOT is an acronym for Supporting the People of Tomorrow. And the idea behind the charity is to educate, house, and nurture the people of tomorrow, the younger generation. And so SPOT started by taking orphans, people who had lost either one or both of their parents, and putting them in an orphanage. This orphanage had a fully equipped mosque, an amazing school, and the transition of the living conditions of the students had transformed from where they originally were to then going to the Spot Academy. After that, Spot then also launched a girls' school, which is flourishing now, and they've even been able to send some of the students that were in the original academy to places like Egypt to study their religion on a more formal level. This is all because of the donations from people like you. And we want to keep nurturing these people of tomorrow. And so for that, I ask you humbly, please support our project this Ramadan by going to freshlygrounded.com/spot.